Okay, hello everyone. We are back. We're going to be picking up right where we left off. Should be right outside the little bar here. Yeah. Okay. So the first thing we want to do is talk to the post. This filthy looking corpse is in sad shape. Its shoulders are slumped and one of its legs is broken, causing it to lean to one side. Stains cover it from head to toe. Judging from the smell and the texture, the stains run from rotten fruit to mud and bird droppings. To add to the indignity, graffiti has been carved into its body and several notices have been nailed onto its chest, back, and head. We will examine the corpse. We will... let's see. One wicked looking cobblestone is still embedded. Probably out the cobblestone. Traces of brain matter and rotting flesh. Ooh. We'll examine it again. Examine the graffiti and notices. Look at the post for Office of Vermin and Disease Control. Bill of Fare. The zombie immediately jerks his left arm upwards and points far to the southeast. A moment later, the arm falls back to its side with a thump. Huh. Okay, there should be a way. Farod, there we go. The zombie immediately jerks its left arm upwards and points far to the west and downwards. A moment later, the arm falls back, and we just learned where Farod is, I believe. Yeah. By speaking Farrell's name out loud, I asked the post to show me where he might be found. He pointed several blocks to the west of the mortuary and oddly enough downwards. Is Farrell buried underground somewhere? Okay. Now that we're done with that, we can go into here, which is the dustmen bar. And there is a few people to talk to in here. Seer the Skeptic is one of them. As you approach, the elderly woman turns and stares at you. La, look who's come a-calling on Seer today. That's dearest son. She looks you up and down, then shakes her head in disbelief. By every power and its mother, boy, what crypt did you crawl out of? I'm fresh from the mortuary, actually. That's so. Warms my ears to hear you give that place the laugh, boy. Not much of a watering hole for one who isn't relieving themselves. Too many cobwebs and dusty minds. You don't like the mortuary? Aren't you a dustman? A dustman, I suppose. I've seen enough sand pass through the hourglass while wearing these robes. This body's almost ready to pay the ferryman. Are you afraid of dying? Of course I am, boy. Who isn't? She frowns and glances around. Well, except dustmen. They're not afraid because they've been swallowing so much of their own bat droppings over the decades they've blinded themselves into thinking that death is some kind of release. It is a release of a sort. If you think this life is a burden, boy, then perhaps. I'm not convinced of that. So what sparked this crisis of faith? She shrugs. Life, I suppose. Never you mind. I won't bore you with the niggling details. I'd like to know, actually. Oh, would you? She looks at you skeptically. How old do you take me for, boy? Old. Well, you're wrong. I'm really old. Now I've spent most of my long years teaching dustmen. I've seen many dustmen whelp, grow within our order, taught them the ways of the faction, kept the faith, preached the tenets of the faction, And so on and so on. No questions, no doubt. This life was merely an antechamber that led to the true death. What happened? Well, a half month back I went sick with the fever. I thought it was the end. It rattled my cage. How? There's something about having your faction members circle around your deathbed like a pack of pale-faced ghouls, nodding and agreeing that your suffering and dying is all for the best. Old Seer is so fortunate. She shall soon be relieved of the burden of life. Burden of life. That's when it struck me. That there's something addled about not appreciating your life. The dustman keeps saying that life is misery and suffering. Is it? That we should be happy to pass on into oblivion. Should we? She shakes her head. Questions, and precious few answers. It doesn't sound like you believe in the dustman philosophy anymore. I suppose I've got a swarm of doubts all buzzing in my skull. She rubs her temples. Hard to get them all to be quiet sometimes. They need to be fed some answers, and I haven't got all of them worked out yet. What will you do? To be square, boy, I don't know. That's the problem with doubt. I can't even trust that what I'm feeling is true, or if I'm scared of death only because of my brush with the fever, or even what I should do. Is this a passing thing? I don't know. Seer, if you had truly believed in the dustman philosophy, then your brush with the fever would not have left you with such doubts. She stares at you and nods slowly. Maybe so, maybe so. I'll have to chew it over some more. You should, it's no small matter. La now, enough of me rattling on about my woes. She stares at your scars. You look like you've shared a few handshakes with death yourself. Hasn't that changed your views somewhat? Doesn't it make you appreciate life a bit more? Well, my brushes with death are a lot closer than those of other people. I can't seem to die, at least as far as I know. You're rattling my coffin. It's true. Strange are the ways of the plains, and I've seen too much to throw any tale out with the wash. She studies your face. If it's true, why does this happen? All I know is I woke up in the mortuary with no memory and covered with enough wounds to kill me 3 times over. Now, don't be saying that too loud. That's peculiar. Never heard of anything like that. Shame about the memories. Do you have any idea why this happens? Nay, not a one. Never knew anyone who death wouldn't take. Until now. Okay. Farewell. We are done with her. Now we shall talk to awaiting death. Before you is a young dustman with stubble on his chin and dark circles beneath his eyes. He is staring at the wall with a somber expression. Greetings. The dustman doesn't look up. He stares straight ahead as if he is seeing something several leagues beyond the walls of the bar. Got the 1,000-yard stare. Can I ask you some questions? The dustman doesn't respond. He keeps staring into the distance. Alrighty then, Mort hisses at you. Let's go, Chief. This dusty might as well be fertilizer. Fair enough. Let's get out of here. As you turn to leave, the dustman suddenly speaks, his voice barely a murmur. You have to strain to hear the words. You think he said something about wanting to die. What did you say? The boy's expression does not flicker. Do you want to die? We'll tell the truth and say, no. Do you? Yes, he studies you. Why do you want to live? There are certain questions I need answered about my life before I'm willing to surrender it. I want to find out who I am. The dustman listens silently. After you speak, he does not respond, merely watches you. He looks like he is thinking. Do you want to die? Is that why you asked? Yes. Why do you want to die? This existence is a mockery of life. I do not wish to continue the charade any longer. His face wrinkles in disgust. Why would anyone wish to remain in this foul city in the center of a multiverse that feeds on pain and hatred? Death is silent, comforting. Then why haven't you killed yourself already? I have been looking for a means to end my life. Will you kill me? Depends. How much? He tosses a small bag on the table, and this bag is all that I own. 50 coppers. Kill me, and it is yours. All right, close your eyes. He closes his eyes. reach your hands around his neck and strangle him. You place your hands on his neck and you begin slowly to constrict. He gives a choked gasp and his eyes open wide. With a pleading expression, he begins to claw at your hands. Release him. You release him, and to your discomfort, you find yourself doing so reluctantly. The boy gasps for breath, coughing violently. Changed your mind? The boy nods weakly. Look, the next time you want to die, you better be damn sure, because the next fellow may not stop when you ask him to. Now stop moping around about life's misery when you obviously still want to be part of it. The boy looks at you for a moment in silence, then he nods slowly, rubbing his neck. I'm keeping the money as a price for this lesson. The boy nods again and finally catches his breath. Very well. Thank you, sir, for giving me a fresh perspective. Don't thank me. Just live. It insults the dead when you treat life carelessly. Farewell. Alright. Getting all kinds of experience. Now let's talk to the roach. You see a spindle-thumbed man in dirty black robes. His stiff black hair springs forth from his skull like a crown of spikes, and his leper-white skin is drawn sharply across his skull. He is frowning into his drink and mumbling to himself. Greetings. The dustman looks up, blinks once, then looks you up and down, studying you. As he studies you, he takes one of his spiked locks and points at himself with it. Roach. Initiate. Dustman. Guard. I'm here about the posting outside. The dustman looks you up and down. Many troubles have I. Help can you? A mausoleum awakes. The dead walk. The dead disturbed. The dustman disturbed. Find out what disturbs the undead, and copper coins will I pay. Very well. Where is this mausoleum?
My journal.
Roach nods. Mausoleum by Dustman Memorial. Go north and west from Black Monument. Go to arch and a semicircle over your heart with this finger this makes. He wiggles the index finger on his right hand. To the mausoleum you will go. I'll look into it then. Farewell.
All right.
Now let's talk to Emmerich. You see a heavy-set man with dark skin and grim features. He is dressed in dustman robes and is regarding you with a stony gaze. Greetings. You have the look of one lost. The man's voice is like stone settling. Did the wind send you, or are you here with a purpose? Who are you? I am Emmerich, factotum and initiate of the Fourth Circle. Is this your bar? If you measure ownership in copper, this is not my establishment. If you measure ownership in spirit, it is mine. He pauses as if trying to emphasize a point. The dustmen here are my students. They are under my protection. Can I ask you some questions? I would like to join the Dustman faction. Yes, I desire to join. Dustmen seek the true death. Some call it oblivion, but that is incorrect. To Dustman, the true death is freedom from the chains of the false life. Perhaps I could find out where these bodies are from. I would track down Farad and ask him. Very well, I'll find Farad, speak to him, and find out where these dead bodies are coming from. Very well, I had some other questions. I have no desire to join the Dustman faction. I merely believe what the Dustmen believe. Yes. We're going to pick this first one. We're going to say yes. Okay. Here's Mortai Gravesend, the one I think that has our quest. Hail, well met, traveler. You look like one who's just getting their sigil legs about them. Pardon me, have we met before? Your face seems familiar somehow. Possibly. Are you certain it was me? Maybe I was mistaken. Well, no matter, no matter. How is it that Mordai Graveson may help you? Do you seek the contracts, perhaps? Contract. Sure, I'll sign. No matter how hard you try, you can't seem to sign your name. The contract seems to twist from being a dusty piece of parchment to something alive. Mordai? What's with this contract? When you glance up to speak to Mordai, you see that his face has been replaced with that of a grinning skull. The rest of the bar seems to stop, the patrons falling silent, freezing like statues. Mordai opens his mouth and a wisp of dust trails from inside the skull. Mordai? With a rasp, the death's head speaks, dust steaming from his teeth. Sign, but remember, everything has its price, and what can change the nature of a man? The words are ragged, dead chorus, as if being spoken by 5, 10, 20, 100 voices, old, young, female, male, desperate, calm, hysterical. Nature of a man. As you speak the words, suddenly feel faint, and the next thing you hear is Mordai's voice, normal, and his hand upon your shoulder. Sir, are you all right? I thought I'd lost you for a moment. Try and get your bearings. It's as if time has exhaled and resumed its natural breathing. The rest of the bar has returned to normal, and Mordai's face is no longer a death's head. You feel a strange pressure inside your skull as if something desperately wishes to surface but cannot. The experience with the death's head that spoke dust. It was as if you remembered a dozen splinters of memory at once, all stabbing into each other to create an image. And you know somehow that every voice that the death's head had spoke belonged to someone, now long dead. Just give me a moment. I'll be fine. Finish signing the contract. You make an X. Alright. Are you one to sign that dead contract with Angar? Mayhap. I do not recall the name. I would like to settle that contract. The contract is tearing the man's life apart. It is causing him duress. It is possible that he may not even be able to approach the true death with such emotions churning in his mind. So what you're saying is that you'll deny him the true death for the sake of a piece of parchment. Look, it is not how you are making it out to be. You obviously hold the philosophy of the dustmen in contempt to damn a man's soul over a piece of paper. Do other members of your faction know of your conduct in this regard? If not, they soon will. He glares at you for a moment, opens his mouth, closes it, then opens it again. By the 9 hells, wait here. He drops his voice to a whisper, and keep your boombox latched. He gives an angry scowl and stomps off. A few seconds later he returns. He is holding a dusty piece of parchment, which he gives to you. Here, he sniffs disdainfully, all for a man's peace of mind. Now be gone, and nettle me with your preachings no longer. I will leave, for now. Alright, let's talk to Roach. Emmerich told me to speak to you. Emmerich sent you to me. He studies you for a moment. The Roach is dustman, guard, serve dustman interests, protect dustman reputation. In the hive, many thieves. One thief wears robes of dustman, but a dustman not. There's a thief disguised as a dustman.
Updated my journal.
Find him, I cannot. Important to the dustman it is. I could track him down for you. For making my troubles your troubles, copper coins will I pay. Find the not dustman, deal with him, then return. Very well. Okay, and we are now done with this place for now. So we are going to go back to, if you remember, Angar, who is down here in the bottom right. And we're going to take care of this quest. Show him his dustman contract. As you pull out the contract, the blood drains out of his face. For a moment he seems at a loss for words, and his temper quickly resurfaces. Where did you get that? By the powers you'd best tell me. Tear up the contract.
My journal.
You tear up the parchment, and Angar's eyes follow the bits of paper as they float to the ground with a desperate look. He shudders silently, then straightens as if a great weight was lifted from him. He looks as if he's about to thank you, then stops and stares at you suspiciously. Nothing's free. Not in the hive cutter. Consider this free, and expect a lot of rules in the hive to change while I'm around. We get 750 experience points. His angry expression crumbles and he looks tired of fighting his good fortunes. I must have prayed to the right powers this past half-month. You have me thanks, Cutter, for whatever it's worth. Just don't make the same mistake again. I may not be around next time to help you.
Looks like my skills have increased.
Cool. Mortai leveled up. I was wondering if I could rest here. Yes, we can. And now we are fully healed. We're going to level Mortai, or Mort up, rather. Fighting skills have improved. We get 10 plus 2 hit points. That is awesome. Okay, we're going to leave out of here.
Done.
And I think before we do the quest, to go into that little where the dead are raising, I think we're going to go and get our third party member, and I'll show you how to do that real quick. Oh, wrong way. I need to talk to your leader. No, it's not that important. Oh shit. We will load our autosave because I did not mean to do that. Okay.
All right.
It must be up here. Went the wrong dang way. Okay.
All right.
If I remember right, it should be down this way.
All right.
Yeah. I believe so. Nope.
All right.
Got him. We need to heal up a little bit. Okay, we need to send some stuff over. Cannot remember what that is for, but if anything. Okay. I'm trying to remember where it's at. I'm trying my best.
I'm gone.
Hey, there's the guy for credit. Socratic needs you back at the marketplace. I'll tell him from a distance. Farewell. Okay, here's the barking dogs.
Done.
Dang. Getting our butt kicked.
Die.
Get him. Okay, and we are going to actually attack these starved dog barking guys. Because we need 3 of them to finish that quest for that woman
I'm
in the main
hurt.
area.
How many times must
damn
this
it.
fool die?
Feels like I've been through a shredder.
Okay,
Alright.
we are just going to grab this third party member after we talk to the big dry guy again. There he is. Okay. And this should be the bar right here, the Smoldering Corpse Bar. Yep.
I'm gone.
And here's your party member, the third party member, Dakan. The man before you is old. His dry yellow skin has the scars of one who has traveled everywhere and never rested long in any one place. His pinched face is inhumanly angular, and his ears sweep out from his skull, tapering to points. He wears a loose-fitting orange tunic, and a strange shimmering blade is strapped across his back. The blade looks to be a 2-pronged glaive made of some metal whose surface swirls like a film of oil on a pond. Excuse me. Greetings. The man turns to you, his eyes like polished coal. He stares through you, and for a moment you wonder if he might be blind. The weapon suddenly turns a dead flat black, mirroring the man's eyes. Are you all right?
Hail, traveler.
His voice is quiet and somber.
Your
Hail.
eyes are the weight of one who has traveled far to be in this place.
You could say that. I am known as Dakan. The emphasis he places on the word known strikes you as odd, yet familiar at the same time. You are not known to me. I do not know myself. That is for the best. In knowing yourself, there would be little in the plains left worth knowing. He fell silent for a moment, studying you with his coal black eyes. I wouldn't know why you have come to this city. I'm looking for answers. I have many questions. Your features are unfamiliar to me. What are you? A Gesserai. A Gesserai? A Gesserai is one of the people. One of the people? A Gesserai. Yes, but what are the Gesserai exactly? Dakan is silent for a moment, then speaks. Our history does not need to be made known to you. We would bleed to death on Time's blade before I recited a fraction of the histories of our people. I don't need to know your histories, but I would know of your people as they are now. He falls silent for a moment. Know this and accept it as an answer. We are the people who make our home upon the shifting plains of Limbo. With a death motion, Dakan slips the blade from his back and holds it before him. Wait and see what happens. There, we mold the matter of Limbo with our minds. We forge cities with our thoughts. As you watch, a series of rippling waves of metal begin to roll forth from the center of the blade. The pitch and crest of the waves match the inflections of Dakon's voice. In its chaos we dwell, with only our knowing to preserve us. We are the Gesserai. What is that blade you have? It moved, shifted in response to your voice. It is a Karak blade. It is an object that lets others know the rank of the wielder. It's made of a strange metal. It's almost hypnotic the way it shifts back and forth. The calm falls silent for a moment as if searching for the correct words. In your tongue, the closest translation is chaos matter, but people may shape it with our thoughts. I had some other questions. There is nothing to be said. Farewell. As you turn to leave, the man speaks sharply. The first time you have heard his tone change since the conversation began. Hold. The man's voice levels out. The city is not known to you. I would travel your path with you. I accept an extra blade will be welcome.
Your path is mine.
Strangely enough, his voice seems distant and it echoes as if he was speaking from across a great distance. Very well. Let's go.
I feel stronger.
And now I have leveled up. And we now have Dakan, which is awesome.
Right.
We will explore this bar more in the future. We're going to see if we can't take care of these barking dog guys really quick. Now we got a third party member.
Rock sings true.
Glass. Vortex. Been doing well.
Die.
We're going to raise him up, which I honestly did not expect him to die like that.
What's up? Sure, why not?
I'm gone.
Okay, and we got all three of them, which is awesome. Okay, we shall now head back,
Done.
since we got all three, after I save and level up. Oh, shoot.
Damn.
Damn it. Did you see that?
Die.
Yeah, getting into fights, getting experience, which is awesome. Let me go up here and see where the other exit is, because I know there's another exit. We'll speak to her, we'll say greetings. Who? Catch her up in a lie. Examine the blood. Blood is hours old. What are you up to? If you're up to something, tell me what it's in, or I'll kill you. Let me give you some advice. Don't pick on someone like me as your mark. And make sure they have more than a couple coins to their name. Now get out of here. We're going to leave. And we're going to exit up here and see where this takes us. Because I honestly can't remember. Oh, here? That was the other one? Okay. Alright. Well, we're back here again. I want to save. And we're going to level up. Yeah. And we're going to make our wisdom 20. And then we're going to bring our intelligence, I think, up to 20 after that. Okay, save again. And I will catch you all in the next part. Thank you for watching.